How'd you end up the director on this film?
Well, many brutal years of working in the film industry, and just slowly, basically outlasting everyone. So I was the last guy there. No, I've been working for many years in TVC commercials, and the script for A Great White from Michael Bowden came through some producers I know called Neil Kingston and Michael Robertson, who've known me for 20 years through TV commercials, and we've been trying to get films up over this time, and eventually this one seemed to resonate with the international marketplace, and then we were away making it.
Making a shark movie seems like a big challenge. Was it as big of a challenge as you expected, or maybe even bigger?
It was definitely, you know what, you just jump off the deep end, so you're not sure what you're expecting. You know you're going to be up for some challenges, and that's surely what I was up against. Look, the big challenge, mate, was the fact that I had 25 days to shoot an action adventure film on the water. And when you're doing that, you're up against the weather, the elements. You can't control that stuff, the wind, the rain, the tides, and of course the brutal sun in Australia, and then the stingers, the jellyfish in the water, all those things. And then you have, just when you thought you were safe, you go into a tank environment, and then that has a bunch of challenges. Like, you've got claustrophobic environments that the actors are suddenly working in. They've got to hold their breath. They're surrounded by divers. It's very confronting in many ways. The communication levels are difficult because you're above the tank, they're below the tank. You can't hear anything. And then you want to make a change in the camera lens. You got to bring the camera up, get it out of its underwater housing, whack a new lens on. So look, there's so many challenges involved.
So you mentioned both ocean and in the tank. About kind of how was the split there? Was it a lot more in the ocean or a lot more in the tank?
Yeah, man, it was like there was a lot of shooting, obviously, in the ocean. Then we shot a little bit at this sort of giant dam or prawn farm, and then we shot, in a couple of tanks. So I would still say the majority of the film was shot out in open water.
In Australia?
Yeah, Northern Australia. Yeah, the beautiful tropical north.
Isn't that kind of dangerous on its own?
Yeah, we didn't tell the actors that. Yes, it is.
And as for the actors, what was like kind of their response to kind of being in the water, out of the water, and do you think they got everything they signed up for there?
I think they were so embracing of what this film was. It's an action adventure. They had to be believable. I never heard a single complaint from the actors. They were so brave, so dynamic in their approach. Katrina Bowden was incredible. Not only has she got a great wheelhouse of emotion and layered capacity and ability as an actor, but she shone out as an action hero too. She just went for it. It was awesome. And everyone else too. Aaron Jakubenko is an incredibly brave actor, very strong screen presence, and lots of layered levels as an actor, but very, very adept at water and diving, and as with the others.
They ended up doing a lot of their own stunts?
Yeah, it was very much a lot of their, like 90% of their own stunts, 10% not, because you can't do certain things, but majority was the real deal.
Wow, that's amazing. So how was it? Obviously, everybody watching a shark movie, and they want to get to the sharks. So how did kind of using the sharks kind of dictate how you kind of maybe did some of the death scenes and how the story kind of played out?
Well, I think, you carefully plan that sort of stuff because obviously there's not, a real shark in that moment in that action sequence. So it's all carefully boarded out, and it's a combination of stock footage, CGI shark, and a animatronic shark. So it's a very as carefully as we could, pre-planned sequences with the sharks.
Did you ever kind of maybe have to change something up because maybe one of those choices kind of really didn't work?
We didn't have a lot of time to make any changes. So you sort of, it just has to work, mate. You know what I mean? And maybe you do certain things in the edit, but a lot of the stuff was created. Once you've got the footage in the edit, if something didn't work, you just try and use something else. You go to your plan B or your plan C.
I think it turned out pretty well. I'm a big shark fan movie. I love watching it, and I thought some of those scenes. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I thought there's one in particular that I really liked. So I thought it turned out all right overall.
So you enjoyed the film? It was a good roller coaster ride for you.
Yeah, I did, and I jumped right aboard on the float with them there, and I really thought it was interesting. I really enjoyed having the two strong female characters. They were really enjoyable to watch. Was it? So
yeah, that's a huge part of the movie. A huge point of difference is those characters, for sure.
Kind of touching on that, how was it really important to have those two strong female characters? And they had a lot more to them. They weren't just holding by themselves. They had plenty of reason to live.
Yeah, I think it's important because this is reflective of where we're at in society, and you want to reflect truthfully where we're at, and you want to try and avoid cliche as much as possible. It can't just be, the expected strong male hero anymore. You have to balance stuff out. You have to be reflective of society, and that's what we were trying to do with the movie. Change people's expectations, and I think that's a good thing.
And I kind of want to jump to the movie's going to be on Shudder eventually. So how do you feel about it landing there? Because it's obviously an international movie. I know a lot of people some people have seen it already, but once it hits Shudder, everybody's going to see it.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, it's such a great streaming, well-known branded service. It's going to the marketplace. It's going to get a lot of eyes on it. That's really cool. Obviously, I love people to get out to the cinema and see it in the States. Now things are really getting back to normal because the movie was made for the big screen and the jump scares and the sound design, everything. Mate, you've got to go get to the cinema to see it. But I'm really delighted that it's getting such a good release there, and it's the streaming service Shudder has got so much respect out in the real world.
Oh yeah, it is the place to be, especially if you can't make it to the theater.
Yeah.
I really love
Absolutely.
seeing shark movies on the big screen, and I really wish I could see this one on the big screen.
Well, you probably can. It's where in the States are you going to be? Where are you situated?
I'm down here in Florida, so things are getting better, but I'm not quite ready to go to the theater yet, though.
Yeah, I think things are opening up. I know, obviously it's different in every state in the US. So, anyway, there are, getting it out there and getting people to see it would be amazing.
All right. And I guess we'll just follow that up and wrap it up with a chance for you to tell the audience listening why they should watch the movie, what they should expect, what's going to happen in this movie, maybe that's similar or different than maybe some other shark movies out there.
Well, I think the expectation there's all the elements that you're going to get delivered in what you're expecting in a shark film. There's the jump scares, there's all those surprises in there. The point of difference, I think, for me is that it's a very character-based survival man against nature film, and if that of true stuff in Australia with the pearl diving history, and one of the main characters' driving motivation is to get back to where her grandfather worked. The Japanese pearl divers. It's all based on truth, and a real wreck that we shot in the north of Australia. That's where the climax occurs. And what I did was we brought the humans in to battle the sharks in the sharks' underwater domain. You know, that's a big, the climactic part of the film.
Awesome. Well,
it's a real roller coaster ride. You know, that's what it is. It's a survival thriller. It's a roller coaster ride. It's a bit like Jaws meets Hitchcock's Lifeboat.
awesome. That's well said right there in its own.
So I really hope people enjoy it, and just have fun with it, you know.